Welcome to Gino's Spot.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. One drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's Spot.
Gino's Spot.
Get to Gino's Spot.
Gino's Spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino's Shot.
Get to Gino's Spot.
Gino's Spot.
Get to Gino's Spot.
Gino's Spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino's Spot.
Gino's Spot.
How's it? Gino Fabri coming to you live from Port Elizabeth. Yeah, I know, look a little bit different, but this is all latex. Excellent makeup. Thank you. All Gary Hemming, center stage. There is no expense spared. You won't believe this. He's dressed me. Tonight I'm disguised as a pretentious playwright. Anyway, so we got a really interesting lineup for you tonight. I'll explain a bit about the disguise later, maybe. But first of all, we'd like to thank our sponsors as usual, Fitch Leedes. Thank you, Fitch Leedes, for stepping up to the plate, keeping us alive here in Port Elizabeth. It's definitely Port Elizabeth. This is not East London or even London that we are broadcasting from. Definitely Port Elizabeth. And I also want to just, if I get through this, I'm on the run at the moment, just a little bit. Got to keep checking the door just in case. But if I do survive the next few days, I'm going to make it to Saturday, the 14th of November, which is when we've got the PE Comedy Jam with me, Gino Fabri. Definitely not some unknown playwright. Me, Gino Fabri. I'll be live at the Comedy Jam as part of the lineup. And here to tell you a little bit more about the rest of the lineup is Stuart Taylor himself.
How's it, guys? Stuart Taylor here. What a pleasure to appear here on Gino's Spot, looking all fresh. Check it. I just come back from the barbershop, got my fresh fade. I'm about to go and shave now. And am I looking this good because of my guest appearance here on Gino's Spot? No, sadly not. It's because I've got a very, very special show which I'm about to do this weekend. That's right, this coming Saturday night, guys. It's the inaugural PE Comedy Jam, and the show is being broadcast live from the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium at 8 o'clock on Saturday night. And so that's why I'm trying to look my best. You can see I'm writing jokes over here because I know I do not want to be the weaker link in this lineup. It's truly a fire lineup. I mean, some of the Eastern Cape's funniest comedic talent is who I get to present, right? I've got Ntosh Madlingozi on the lineup. I've got Kanisa Boone on the lineup. I've got Sia Sayer on the lineup. And of course, your boy, Gino Fabri, is on our lineup as well. That's the PE Comedy Jam this coming Saturday at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. It's going to be so much fun. You can watch it live in the comfort of your home, whether you are in PE or East London or anywhere on the planet, in fact, because the show is being live streamed. So make sure you get those tickets at Cricket for the PE Comedy Jam. $50, that's what you made the tickets, $50. So that's your fun entertainment you get to do this coming Saturday. Guys, it's going to be a joy. I'll see you online. And next week, I'll appear live on Gino's Spot. We'll do a little bit of a report back on how the show went. But I'd love for you to be a part of the live audience that streams it. I'll see you on Saturday night. That's the PE Comedy Jam, 8 o'clock. Tickets at Cricket.
Yeah, so that's cricket.co.za, QUICKET.co.za, only $50 a ticket. And I'll be there, me, Gino Fabri, and Stuart Taylor and the rest of the lineup, as he said. Next up, we've got Darren, Darren Fuller, is it? Or is it? Yeah, Darren Fuller doing What You're Watching. So here I am, Darren Fuller. Tonight it's just there's Darren Fuller here from Port Elizabeth, definitely not from London. And tonight I'm going to leave the boys out of it because tonight I want to talk about what us girls should be watching, and some really good things that I've been watching recently. One of them is the miniseries Unbelievable. Now, this will be Tony Collette as you have never ever. Hello, Wendy. Hi. So there we go. Hello. Oh, and we got Kathy Marsh on the line as well. Now, girls, what I'm going to be telling you tonight are the things that you should be watching on miniseries. A great miniseries to watch is Unbelievable. Tony Collette channeling Clint Eastwood. The thing I love most about this series is the strength of the female characters. It's based on a news report about a serial rapist, a true story, in fact. But what really makes the series is the strength of the female characters and female cops as you've never seen them before. For me, it was really rewriting the cop genre in the way that these female characters came to life. Another one that I really like in terms of the strong female characters at the center of it is Little Fires Everywhere with Reese Witherspoon. She produces it and takes the central role, playing a baddie for once, actually, in the end. But also some incredibly strong female characters. And for those of you who have been watching American politics recently with Black Lives Matter, no matter what side of that equation of that particular movement you may find yourself, this one is incredibly. No, this is not Gino. What are you talking about, Facebook user? This is Darren. So the great thing about Little Fires Everywhere is the way it really gets under the surface of what is happening in American society now, especially the interface between black and white Americans. And then some really, really good domestic drama at the heart of it, parent-child stories, mother-daughter especially. Very, very strong series. That's Little Fires Everywhere featuring Reese Witherspoon. Another great one that is a multi-season, I've only watched the first season of it, is This Is Us. Which charts the fortunes of a family over a number of generations. And what's great about this series is the way it jumps for any of us who have a certain age. And I have, you won't believe that I'm the wrong side of 50. I haven't had any work done. But for those of us who are of a certain age and remember the 80s, This Is Us is a great series to watch because it flashes forwards and backwards between the 80s and modern and present day, looking at different different members of the same family over different decades, from the 80s through the 90s and the noughties and right up to present day. So that's another great one to watch. And then finally, I'm going to throw at you a movie that I saw ages ago that very few people I've ever come across have ever seen. So it's one to hunt for online, and that is Things You Can Tell Just by Looking at Her. Things You Can Tell Just by Looking at Her. It's got an amazing cast: Holly Hunter, Glenn Close, Ally McBeal. Can't remember, Callista Flockhart, I think her name was. Yes, Callista Flockhart. An amazing cast, and it's 4 stories of 4 different women who each get to be the protagonist in one of the stories, and then the other 3 women become minor players in that particular woman's story. So you see 4 women who live in the same town, and it's 4 stories about those 4 women. It's kind of I suppose if you think of something like Desperate Housewives, the way it goes into the public face of people and their private lives within the same community, but a much more hard-hitting look at the personal lives of these 4 women. So those are a few things to look at. That's Unbelievable, which is a series about a serial rapist that's investigated by female cops in America, based on a true story. Little Fires Everywhere, which featuring Reese Witherspoon, which looks at strong domestic drama that confronts the issues between Black and white Americans today. And This Is Us, which is a series that flashes forwards and backwards between the 80s and now, exploring the same family over different generations. And then finally, a movie that you'll really have to Google to get hold of, where you can watch it, is Things You Can Tell Just by Looking at Her. What do you mean, Brian May? Are you telling me I look like a man? Bit of an insult, Warren G. Anyway, Gary, let's get back to Gino. So here we are. Thank you, Darren, for that insightful look at those series and those movies. Yeah, I liked. I see we have a few little fans of Little Fires Everywhere. And what do you mean? Where's Gino? Linda van der Westhuizen. This is Gino. This is all latex. Like I was saying earlier, you obviously came in a bit late. Gary has spared no expense. We're having to go into hiding a little bit at the moment. Few little piracy problems, and not exactly legal trouble, but we've just had to take some preventative measures. As you can see, we've probably got, I think that interference in the background is the government trying to block our signal. So this is tonight we're a pirate station, and we're doing our best to keep things going. So I'm today I'm disguised as a pretentious South African playwright. And and I'll be back hopefully. If you want to see me in my original form without the disguise, I'll Gino Fabri. But I do all sorts of different disguises anyway, so you should be used to that. But you will be able to see me at the PE Comedy Jam on Saturday, the 14th of November, with Stuart Taylor, and you just get your tickets at cricket.co.za. Now, next up, we have a South African comedy legend, also known to even associate with pretentious South African playwrights, Mr. Mark Banks, who I'm sure needs no introduction. Marky, there you are.
Hello. Who's that?
It's Gino Fabri, disguised as that famous playwright who won all those Vita Awards. What was his name?
No idea. Peter Dirk Ace.
Yes, no, it was Peter Dirk Ace. Or no, it was Ethel Fugard. No, it was
Adrian
Ethel Fugard.
Chevington. Who are you? You're Gino. Who is that? Gino?
I'm Gino. Gino Fabri. Can you see me there, Mark?
No, I know the test for Gino.
Okay, we've been
transgendering. What's happened?
We've been rumbled. Okay, so the awful truth is that tonight the show is being presented by Greg Coetzee, and he's talking to his old friend Mark Banks. Would you say we're friends?
You Greg Coetzee?
Would you say we're friends?
Okay, how do you spell Greg?
Greig.
There we go. Wrong. It's not Greg. It's not Greg.
Okay.
There we go. Well done. How are you? Where are you?
I'm good. I'm actually in London, believe it or not. Yes, I'm in London tonight.
I love what you've done with the bedroom. It looks just like Gino's bedroom.
It does. Well,
on his bedroom wall.
Exactly. I'm a great fan of Gino's.
I knew there was one.
Yeah. He's the second best stand-up comic in South Africa, as we all know.
Yes, now, I heard the station was moving. Because the listener was moving to another address, so they're going to move the station.
Which station are we talking about?
Gino's Spot.
Oh, Gino's Spot. Okay. Well, that's all. I've got no comment to make on that at this stage.
So you're standing in for Gino. I'm
standing in for Gino, and I thought it would be really good to speak to my fellow member of the Doveton Road Squatter Camp. I mean, you and I.
Doveton Road Squatter Camp. Yes.
Yeah. Very few people will know this, but our wonderful mutual friend who we lost a few years ago, Lena Ferrugia, used to rent a garden flat to each of us, or did? Yeah, that's right. And Mark and I were neighbours in the Lena Ferrugia, Rob Davies, Doveton Road, Artistic Squatter Settlement.
Yes, and on the corner we had Nobel Prize winner Nadine Gordimer.
We-
3 houses up, Bruce
That's right.
Fordyce, who I
Indeed.
see some nights running past. He's busy transgendering.
Yes,
he's
but
now
but
years and years of wear and tear on that bunga wonga down in the poly shorts.
well,
He's now transitioning into Georgina Fordyce. Which
but
I
he
can-
did have that Farrah
is great
Fawcett.
to you.
He had that Farrah Fawcett sort of hairstyle in the 80s, didn't he? When he
Yes,
ran.
and matching
Yeah.
breasts now, I can tell the
Oh,
viewers.
really? Oh dear.
Old
Okay.
viewer.
Well, yeah.
And by next year, by about April, May of next year, he would have transformed completely into Georgina Fordyce.
Oh my God! Is he still
So
running?
that's-
Now then, we should have a runoff between him and Zola Budd. I mean, maybe she's and
Could
that would
do.
Zola Budd. You could play Zola Budd. I've seen you
I
play
did.
Zola
I
Budd.
played Zola Budd when I started in the business. One of the first
Yeah.
impersonations that I did was Zola
Yeah.
Budd. I think
remember
viewers
that.
watching now are far too young to know who Zola Budd was, but she
Yeah,
ran for South Africa in the Olympics when she tripped Mary Decker. And I
That's
used
right.
to run on stage with a pair of shoes around my head, barefoot,
That's right.
little pair of shorts. And Zola used to talk about running for South Africa and getting a gold medal. And then she got a big sponsorship from Addis. They sponsored her for a Tues, and of course she ran barefoot. So- It was just a nightmare. It was just so South African.
You may not remember this, Mark, but actually, the first time I met you,
Yes.
Garth Anderson was presenting you in Peter Maritzburg doing that
Yes.
show.
Yes.
He's on top, he's inside. It's when you burst out of the fridge as Nelson
That's the one.
Mandela. Yeah,
That's the one. And it was in a restaurant. It was in a restaurant in Peter Maritzburg called
my place, family
Whenever
hall.
the show started, only half the audience was there because everyone had gone to their place because they
Yeah.
said to people, meet me at my place.
My place, exactly. Yeah,
So they went to
yeah.
their house and they didn't go to the restaurant. So we had to
Yeah,
wait
it-
half an hour while everyone went
was
to get
one-
them from their house.
It was one of those places where you paid like a basic amount and you could eat as much pizza as you like. And,
Yes. Or
and
as,
at the-
as much as you could eat dirt cheap.
yes, yeah,
And the
exactly.
catch- The catch of the day was hepatitis.
Oh Christ, yeah. But in fact, I was, believe it or not, the lighting operator for that show,
Good.
and
grief.
it was myself. It was myself, and I'll tell you who alternated with as Garth's lighting operator was Brian Heathfield.
Oh my goodness gracious me. He's doing very, very well for himself at the moment. He's a radio producer. He produces
All
a lot of
sorts.
programs for radio. He's got his own PR company and he's started a hydroponic farm in Mozambique supplying red hot chili peppers and jalapenos to Rwandan
He's
malnourished.
supplying jalapenos to the red hot chili peppers, or he's
Yes.
oh, I see. Okay.
It's nuns. It's the secret sect of nuns in Rwanda, which I
Right.
can't say now because of the Boko Haram influence in northern
Okay.
Mozambique. I don't want to give it away.
What was that middle bit? I missed the middle. Anyway, but yeah, I remember that. I remember that run, and in fact, I think the lighting was done. It was an old Wakefield's estate agent board that Garth had bought some dimmers from the local game discount city. Some domestic wall dimmers, which they screwed onto a Wakefield's Masonite for sale sign. And all the wires, that's what ran all the wires that lit you as you jumped out the fridge dressed as Nelson
It was
Mandela.
magnificent. We won an award. We won several awards for that.
Yep.
And when we
Yep.
did when we presented the show in Reykjavik as part of the Well Lit One Man Show convention, we won gold, silver, bronze, and plutonium, which had never ever been awarded up until then.
Well, I'm still. I mean, I remember those days. You could actually wear a pair of running shorts just like Zola Budd because you used to wind them around one finger. I remember that.
That's right.
I remember that.
And I had freckles as well. They used to put a calendar over my face and spray orange. So it was sort of pre-Donald Trump. I looked as though
I've gone.
Orange hippopotamus had a sort of a wild moment shredding.
I've done this orange lighting tonight as a tribute to Donald Trump, to the memory of. As you can see, I'm looking very orange myself.
Very good. Very,
I know.
very good.
I thought I should. But I certainly don't have a career ahead of me in comedy, so I may as well go into politics.
Right.
That's
Running in
and
politics, but you're
the
still writing.
orange-
Are you still writing? You're still writing.
writing like a madman. Still trying to be a famous playwright, and no one's taking the bait. A famous screenwriter, actually, screenwriter now.
Screenwriter.
Yeah, every time I fail in one area, I just sort of up the ante and try to move to a higher league, and then I fail in that league, and I just keep climbing the ladder. That's the best way to do it, I find. Yeah.
Well, I met the auntie, and she's nothing but trouble, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Just before she left, went to London when she did, after what happened. But don't you write EastEnders, or one of the biggies?
I was on EastEnders for a very short while, and that's all I'm prepared to say on the grounds that it may incriminate me.
Right.
But I tell you another memory I have.
All true. It's all true what I heard then.
It's all true,
it's
yeah.
All true. Okay.
Another memory I have of that run that you had. That was the year that the first escort agency opened in Pietermaritzburg, the Yellow Rose escort.
The Yellow Rose. We absolutely terrorized them night after night.
I remember you and Garth phoning and pretending to be desperate men from the northern suburbs coming to pop in for a visit, because I think we could see the front door of the Yellow Rose escort agency from Garth's flat. If I remember correctly.
That's the one.
That's the
I
one.
remember it now.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yellow Rose, just when escort agencies had started, and we used to phone and ask them if they did deliveries and if we could get a pizza.
Yeah, that's yeah.
And if they could sing, we wanted a very, very big woman who could sing as a surprise for our mother. It was amazing how obliging they were. And then we had a Russian sea captain that was going to go in and burn them. No, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun in Pietermaritzburg.
Yeah,
it was a great place.
Yeah, now,
and you're from there. You're from Pietermaritzburg.
No, I'm from the Durban southern suburbs. I'm from the wrong end of Durban.
So how has Port Elizabeth embraced you, and you've ended up in Gino's bedroom? What happened?
It's just my sort of worldwide fame. No, I mean in Durban, I grew up in a place called Montclair, which is basically like the bluff without the sea. Our view wasn't the Indian Ocean. Our view was of the Mabeni factory area and the oil refinery.
That's right. Your mother was Montclair's most wanted hubcap thief, wasn't she?
Something like that. I hope she's not watching, because otherwise
She used to turn them into woks and sell them outside the Musgrave Centre on Saturday morning.
Yeah,
I remember her well.
Now I only met you. I only know for me, my knowledge of Mark Banks begins at whenever that was 1985 or something like that. When was it? About 85, 86, 87 that you did Pietermaritzburg?
Could have been, yes.
So when did you? What were you doing back in the 70s? I mean, you must have been up to something getting into this game.
In the 70s.
Yeah. When did you start? When I
started. Well, I came out of school and I worked in theatre, stage managing very badly, ushering, doing promotions and events, and just generally sort of schlepping all around the country doing bits and pieces of theatre. I didn't want to act. I just wanted to, and I didn't want to do stand-up, do like sketches. I wanted to do comedy review, which my original were sketches and people and characters, which I'm sort of mutating back into. Yeah. I'm putting a new show together for next year, which will be my very, very last show ever, but it'll be the biggie that I'll take around the country for about a year. Okay. Which is all new characters, because, the news happens so fast these days here that you could write a new show every day. Yeah. And even then, it wouldn't be as funny as the actual news. There was actually a policeman who arrested himself yesterday. He arrested himself. He realized he'd broken the law. And so he was left with no option but to arrest himself. For what? For not social distancing with himself or something? Oh, I don't know what it was. You know that we have police stations now that are guarded and protected by Kentucky Fried Chicken. Oh my God. They are the sponsors. They sponsor.
Do they have like a drive-through? Do they have like a drive-through charge office? A charge office.
Least if you go in to lay a charge, at least you know they've got a colonel.
Where's Gino when you need him? Where's Gino with that drum when you need him?
Is he not in the cupboard at the back there? I'm sure I can hear something rusty in the back.
You know what?
I've gnaw his way through a drum kit.
I think Gino may have been fired. I'm not sure. Gary spun me some long story about Gino not being able to make it tonight, but I think he's actually been fired. And I think I may have been permanently. No! Yeah.
Oh my! No, there he is. That was him.
Oh, he
Was
is
that
in the
him?
cupboard. Sorry, that was just the cupboard opening there. That was just the
He's
cupboard.
in the cupboard.
He is in the cupboard.
It's awesome if they do that. If
So
you
now
broadcast
he's going to be out of the
they
closet.
fire you in an instant.
So
They
I
fire
think
you
at
in an
the end of the show, Gino's going to be coming out of the closet.
Right. I hope not. I
Yeah.
hope not.
Yeah, yeah, out of the closet indeed. Out of the closet indeed. So you were schlepping around as a stage manager, and you were doing. You were playing the third spear carrier in Macbeth or whatever.
During rehearsals, and then I was fired at the final dress rehearsal. They said I was so bad as a spear carrier, it was quite pathetic. They said, "That's it. We'll pay you out. Just don't ever come back."
Yeah.
So I said, "Well, I can usher." And they said, "No, just go. Just please.
Yeah.
We're not interested. We
Now-
don't want."
You know, Mark, and I'm going to say this in all seriousness. You're one of the few stand-up comedians I've come across that where the funny actually carries on after once you're off the stage, and it's just as funny, if not sometimes even more funny. And well, it's true. And the sad thing about that is that you're giving away that part of it for free. But I know when I was staying with Rob and Lena, and you know we're all in that same place. Seeing some of the footage that Rob filmed of you during that TV special they did with you.
Yes.
There were bits in fact, there was one in London that I've never forgotten of you standing on what you called the London beach, which was this godforsaken. It was a godforsaken bit of the River Thames, like a bank.
Yes, Thames is right in front of. It was right in front of Westminster Bridge.
Yeah, it was
that's
like
the London Beach. Yes.
A bit of and your ad-libbing then was side-splittingly funny. Have you ever thought of doing more kind of video-based stuff? I mean, you know, like
yes, but I don't know these days. There's just so many podcasts. Everybody's got a thing online. Everybody with a cell phone's got a program. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And you know, the thing that you have now, if you have 7.5 million viewers, you get £6.
Oh, is it that?
3 months later.
Yeah, I suppose it's kind of like the same as, you know, the same problem that musicians are having. I mean, how do you? Here's a word that I hate, but I'm going to use it anyway. How do you monetize your video? This is what everyone, I suppose, and monetize.
I think monetizing is the untying of the fallopian tubes through the urethral section by Vivipatham.
I'm not going to disagree with you. But yeah, certainly.
I do bag snatching now. Being near the hospital here, I've got a scooter, a Lambretta delivery motorbike, and I wear the crash helmet, the full visor Darth Vader crash helmet, full leathers with gloves, and sort of can do bag snatching.
Well, that's a great way to monetize. I see here that we've solved the Gino mystery. Philippa Fabry has kidnapped Gino for a ransom, and Gary won't pay to get him back. And I can imagine that because Gary's the most tight-fisted. I mean, honestly, you know, he has lifelong.
He wakes up at night to see if he's lost any sleep.
Exactly. That's it's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That must be a family member. The Fabry,
Philippa Fabry. I should imagine that's hello, Kathy Marsh. We can see you too.
Yes.
I get to do that. I've never been able to do this online thing. It's like being a famous person because you can go, hello, Wendy Tompkinson, and hello, Kathy Marsh, and hello, Carol Jacobs. And, you know, it makes me feel like, because none of them even know who I am. They're all tuned in and they've gone, where the hell is Gino? And who's
they'll pretend they know who you are.
Yeah.
But they don't know who you are.
They don't know.
Absolutely no clue at all.
I know.
And I think we should plug the comedy lineup that's coming up on Saturday with Stuart Taylor. Because that's very, very brave of them to do a lineup.
That's right. You can do this job better than I can. The PE comedy
Fitch Leedes, whatever Fitch and Leedes do. I know Gino must get a lot of it, and I want some of it.
Yeah, I've got it. I've got all my. Oh, you can't see my notes because of the green screen. Because the notes aren't green. I didn't think about that one. Yeah. Can you see that? Yeah, because you see all the little kind of shimmery holes in the background. Because actually, behind me is I'm sitting in my garden shed in my backyard here in London, and I'm not really. I'm not really in. And Muswell Hill, the same place where the Kinks come from. Someone knows who I am. Hello, Wendy Tompkins. Thank you for loving my show. Sorry?
Dennis Nilsson, the necktie murderer. He was Muswell Hill.
Absolutely. I go past his house on the way to the Tube, on the way to Highgate Station.
A lot of people didn't.
Yeah, they stopped right there. And you know who stayed in the house just up the road from Dennis Nielsen was Peter Sellers. He's also there's a blue plaque on one of the houses out there. That's where Peter Sellers lived as a child, I think, or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that's what it says on the house. Either the person who lives in the house is a.
It must be true. How
must
wonderful.
be true. Yeah, and the Kinks as well. The Kinks are from this end of the. Are from this, they apparently there's a local pub with all the Kinks memorabilia here because the Kinks are also from
what that is. Nobody
the Kinks. Come on, I'm sure Gary's done a tribute to the Kinks at some point.
No, I don't think even Gino Fabry's talents could go as far as doing the Kinks.
The Kinks.
He's done everybody else.
You know what? I'm going to announce Gino in quite soon, and he's going to be doing an a cappella version of a Kinks medley, accompanied only by the drums. I hope everyone's ready for this. Yeah, a cappella drums.
Can I go now because I've left something in the oven?
Okay. All right, Marky. It's been fantastic talking to you. Lovely to and yeah, and we'll I'm sure we'll bump into each other sometime in real flesh.
Hopefully in London. If I can come and borrow £50 from you. £50 is 1,278 grand.
You could buy a house in Melville for that, I think. For £50.
Get a house in Melville.
Well, the house I sold in Melville, I think I cleared about £50 after all the
£50 is 11,000 rand.
Something like that.
It's gone up already. It's unbelievable. Great to see you, Greg.
Yes, indeed.
Very, very soon.
Yeah. Cheers, Marky. Bye. Gino!
Are we going on air now? Are we going live now?
Yeah, we're still live. Live.
We're going live, Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Hello? No, there's Greg.
Yes,
How are you, Greg?
It's like the Brady Bunch. It's like the opening titles of the Brady Bunch.
You've had your teeth done.
Yes, I have.
Eventually, you've had your forehead done.
Yes. Clearly.
Now, where were you, Gino?
I'm actually in the Lowveld, believe it or not, in Nelspruit.
Yes.
And I've come in to discover that somebody has usurped my role and is trying to steal my
life. You know what? See some of the comments. You're not very good. The ratings are plummeting.
Gino, I've done you a huge service because after a week of me presenting the show, the only way is up, my bro. The only way is up.
Oh no! I think you've done a fantastic job for when I've been watching.
No, I tell you, yeah. Somebody's even seen my show, White Men with Guns. Wendy Tompkins saw White Men with Weapons. There you go. Well, there we go. So someone knows who I am. Somebody knows who I am.
White Men with Guns.
White Men with no arms.
Very, very dangerous.
White Men with no arms. Yeah.
You were Navy, weren't you, Gino?
Oh yes. Well, I've got Navy. I like Navy, but I was never in the Navy. No.
In the Navy, in the Italian Navy. Do you know how they separate the men from the boys?
The Italian Air Force.
In the Italian Navy, do you know how they separate the men from the boys?
How?
With a crowbar.
Oh, take out your drums. And
That's
you, Banks?
And never try to eat anything bigger than yourself.
I'll try not to. Hippopotamus.
Banksy.
Nutcase. As they say, the hippopotamus is very dangerous. A hippopotamus can outrun you.
Hippopotami or hippopotamuses?
Hippopotami, they can outrun you 40 k's an hour. They can run, and they can outswim you as well. So they say the only chance you got in a triathlon against the hippopotamus is the bicycle, because it can't Can't push the brakes.
I should have the drums. I should have the drums there. I need the yeah.
Oh,
So-
magic.
Okay, Banksy.
Am I gone? Am I off?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you on? Are you on? Are you off? It's who knows what when.
Hey,
Doesn't
the
this-
Cyclops Vista
I
delivery.
know we should do the thing now. This is really dating me. Remember the opening titles of the Brady Bunch when they were all in little boxes. They were
Oh, my word.
yeah, the story of a lovely lady who was yeah, and they all looked at each other in the boxes. Like I'm looking at Gino now. I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm this way.
Hello, Gino. Yeah. Oh no, it's
Hi,
wrong
Greg.
way. Hello, Gino. There you go. How's it? Let's see if we can kiss, Gino. Gino, let's try and kiss.
No.
Marky?
No.
Doesn't work.
All right, cheers, guys.
Okay. Cheers, Mark.
I think we chased him.
Well, that's a minor achievement in itself. We yeah. I mean, normally Mark Banks walks all over me. I just shut up. It's like
I did
like
the
when
same.
a big dog and you're a small dog, you just lie on your back and expose the soft part of the belly. Because I was telling Gary once. I was at the Vita Awards once, and hello, Paul Gabriel Pereira. Oh no, he's
Hey,
watching.
Pereira, este português, eh?
Yeah.
Portugal.
So I mean, he would stand up in the middle of the Vita Awards and give me flack while I was accepting my award. I mean, it was you don't ever taunt Mark Banks because it's going to come back and get you double. But now he's offline. Now he's offline. I'm feeling a lot braver.
No, I've interviewed him before, and he's goes on. He's like the tangent king.
Yeah, it's like Robin Williams-esque, if that is a term.
Yes.
The way
Yes.
he can just go off on one. I know it is. It's like word association. It just kind of pours out of him. Yeah. I was saying earlier, reminding Mark that we both rented different garden flats on the same property in Johannesburg. So and a house owned by Lena Ferrugia, and we used to refer to it as the creative squatter settlement. So I had Mark Banks as a neighbor. That was quite something. Unfortunately, I can't repeat many of the stories, but certainly not live on television. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I think you did a fantastic me, Greg. I'm most impressed. There's Anita.
Anita, I taught Anita once. No, Anita, you see this reprobate next to me here? He couldn't stand in for his show tonight. He couldn't be doing his show tonight. And I was asked at the last minute to step in. And yes, I am superimposed on this. Believe it or not, those weird flickery things in the black background are not gamma rays or the CIA trying to get into my brain. It's green screen that's not really working 100%.
Fantastic. I
tell you what. I tell you, you're missing a trick here, Gino, because you can make holes in your head here. Look, and then I come back and there I am again. You should do this. Yeah, it's like a horror movie. Look here. And then I can. Okay. See, you saw it for the first time here.
On Gino's spot.
You see, you leave the show in my hands, and you get it back, and it's full of holes.
Look at it.
Just like your honor.
I was most impressed by Darren Fuller. I really enjoyed that, I've got to say.
I had to fight a bit with the wig. And you see, we also realized just during the test beforehand, when I bring the wig on, look what happens. It just
Darren's not normally at my place anyway, so it's fine.
I had to quickly so you can You can tell I haven't worked with wigs as often as you have, Gino. But
Very
anyway.
good, very good.
Respect, bro. I've had my one night with a wig, and my one night stand with a wig, and I never want to get that close to a wig again. I don't know how you guys do it.
I'm getting, my hair is a bit shaggy now, so it's getting more difficult to get the wigs on, you know.
Yeah.
But I've never been able to grow my hair. That's the whole thing with wigs. You can't.
Yeah.
Wendy wants to know where you are. He's in London, Wendy.
Yeah, East London.
Yes.
No, London. Actually, North London. Now that's going to really confuse everyone in East London. Everyone in East London, I'm in North London. So I'll check you out because I think you guys are on the district line and I'm on the, the northern line or something like that.
East London.
I think the tube goes all the way to East London. You just go.
Just go for long. You just got to
pick a long one. Yeah. You've got to get an all-day pass to do that trip. Yeah.
No, Greg, that's been a fantastic thing. I don't know if you've spoken about the show on Saturday.
We have, but we're going to. I'm very professional. I'm going to back announce it now. That's a term I learned.
Nice. Excellent.
So this is Gino. This is Gino Fabri here. If you want to see Gino, this guy next to me here, you may not have heard of him because I'm a lot more famous. But he's going to be at the PE Comedy Jam on the Saturday, the 14th of November, at quicket.co.za, which is not a venue; it's a website, and you spell it QUICKET.co.za. Yeah. Okay. CO. Anyway, I'm going to start. Do you want to end your show or must I? What's going on here? I think you should. I think you should tune everyone goodbye. Okay. We got a special. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, so you are going to end the show.
Yes.
So quickly go and change into your drum kit and just get ready to go. Are you ready?
I'm gonna get in
go. It's the quickest costume change you have ever seen. Here you go. On your marks. Get set. Go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on Gino's Spot tonight. I know I'm in Nelspruit at the moment, Nelspruit in the Lowveld. And thank you very much. Thank you very, very much to Greg Coetzee and to Stuart Taylor, who I'll be joining on Saturday night at the PE Comedy Jam at the stadium. PE Comedy Jam, some incredible comedians there. Of course, you've heard about it all today. So I hope that we're going to see you there. And we're going to do the competition now. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to do the drums. We're going to give away a Fitch Leedes. We're going to give away a whole hamper of Fitch Leedes. Going to come to you somewhere in South Africa, or no matter where you are in South Africa, just not you, Great Coetzee, because you're in London. And so I want the name of the artist and the name of the song in one comment. There, you know how it works, and you get Fitch Leedes because our sponsor, Fitch Leedes, thank you so much, and Spar, and of course Amubia for our internet. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to move over to the drum cam, and let's get ready to do our competition tonight. That's right. All right, the name of the song and the name of the artist in the comments. broken drumstick. All right. Thank you for joining us on Gino's Spot tonight. Thank you to Stuart Taylor and to Greg Couture, my hero. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you again on Saturday. Remember the book for the Comedy Jam as well. Spend the night with me. Thank you to Fitch Leedes. Thank you to Spar. Thank you to Mobia. We'll check you on Saturday. Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver. Get to Gino's Spot.
Gino's Spot.
Get to Gino's Spot.
Gino's Spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino's Shot.
Get to Gino's Spot.
Gino's Spot.
Get to Gino's Spot.
Gino's Spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino's Spot.